And let's start in a seated position. As always, I offer you a cross-legged sit, but you can sit with your feet tucked under you on your knees. You could sit on a block, on a cushion. I try to have blocks handy just in case you need them or want them. I can show you how to use them, but they're completely optional. And those of you, of course, at home, you might not have yoga blocks, but you might have books or a throw pillow or whatever. Improvise. Don't sweat it. We'll do plenty of sweating, but you don't need to sweat and stress about little things like that. So go ahead and sit up nice and tall, long spine, relax your hands in your lap, roll those shoulders down and back, release and relax any tension here in your neck, in your jaw, in your face. If you'd like, you can close your eyes. Again, completely optional. If you don't close your eyes, just allow your eyelids to soften, and you can sort of look at a point on the floor in front of you. And just sit and be for a moment. Just be present in your body, on your mat. And imagine you can look at your body and do just sort of a scan. And as you look over your body, notice how that part of your body feels. So from your toes, through your knees and your hips, the muscles in your legs, how you're sitting on the mat where you're making contact with the earth, into your arms and your shoulders, noticing any tension there in your shoulders, your neck, your jaw, and your face. Seeing if you can let go. Seeing if you can release that tension. Noticing your posture. A lot of us tend to slump, so sit up tall. One of my favorite things to say in Spanish, saca pecho. Lift up through your chest. My trainer friend here always says that, saca pecho. Notice if you're holding any tension in your face and just try to relax. Release your cheeks, the lines in your forehead. And then begin to focus on that breath, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose, and repeating. Trying to breathe deeply, so you're inhaling, feeling the chest and the ribs expand and rise all the way into feeling like you're breathing into your belly. It's really just your diaphragm pressing down, but really breathe into that and then exhale, release, squeezing every last bit of air, contracting your abdominal muscles on that exhale. Finding a rhythm, finding a pattern. Allowing your focus to fall on your breath and on that pattern. Letting go of any external thoughts. Letting go of plans for the evening, thoughts of the day, of the week ahead, of the week behind. Being present right now. As always, an option to set an intention for the class, for your practice. As I mentioned, this will be a more challenging, kind of more intense practice. So just perhaps setting the intention to do what you can do what you're comfortable with, challenging yourself if you want, letting it go if you don't want to. Make the practice your own. I'm just here to guide you. I offer suggestions, but it's your practice. And release your head downwards, dropping your chin towards your chest. So you're still lifted through the spine, but feeling that stretch in the back of your neck. And roll your head to one shoulder, and then roll your head to the other shoulder. Little half circles, side to side. You can keep the eyes closed if you want, open them whenever you want. Next time you get over to either side, it doesn't matter which, let your head just drop towards that side. Ear releasing towards shoulder, feeling a stretch in the opposite side. Taking a breath. And rolling your head down through center to the other side, releasing that ear to that shoulder. Stretching the opposite side in your neck. Continue to breathe, inhaling, exhaling. Rolling the head back down to center, chin towards chest, and then raising it up back to neutral. And turn your head side to side, ear over, or shoulder over ear. What am I saying? Chin over shoulder. Those are the body parts. As if to say no. Just turning side to side. And slowly working your way back to center. Deep inhale, extend the arms up overhead, press the palms together. Exhale as you bring the hands down to heart center. And then gently flutter your eyelids open if they're not already open. Bringing the feet, sole of the feet together. Sitting up tall, but not so tall that your feet not so close together, so close to your body that you slump. So always posture is most important, right? So if you're more flexible, the feet can be closer together. Some of you, your knees will just open right up down to the mat, others not so much. If you find that you're slouching into it, just move your feet out a little bit. That helps give you some space. Making sure you can take a deep breath. Noticing the hips, trying to release those, trying to let those knees drop down towards the mat. And then go ahead and fold forward, just releasing that head down towards the feet. Hanging over, taking a few breaths here. And bringing yourself back up. Extending your legs in front of you. We're going to do a little Pilates stretch before we do our Paschimottanasana. So sitting up tall. So in Pilates, we work in a rounded spine as opposed to an extended spine in yoga. Okay, so this one we're going to work in rounded spine. Spine stretch forward. Arms are extended, shoulders in their back pockets, chin pulled towards chest. It's an inhale. As you exhale, you reach forward, head drops between your arms, and we're going to stretch forward, stretch forward, stretch forward, exhaling each time. And then inhale, back to center. So it's a stretch. Inhale to sit up. Exhale, really pull the belly button back towards the back. Flex the feet. And restack the spine each time. So it's rounding, reaching. You're reaching past your feet, not trying to touch your feet. Inhale, sit up. Or maybe you're just trying to touch your toes, but the arms stay high. Notice they're not down at the floor. Exhale 3 times. Inhale. Go ahead and finish your last one. Inhale back to center, grow tall, interlace the fingers, stretch and lift, lift, lift. Bring the feet together. Release the hands, sitting tall, shoulders in the back pockets, long spine like someone's trying to lift you up, but you're glued into the mat. And now we're going to hinge from the hips. So now it's a long, straight spine, Paschimottanasana. Reaching, 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 reaching forward. When you can't hinge forward anymore, go ahead and let those arms drop down wherever they are. So you could grab your calves if you want, you could grab your ankles, you could grab your toes or your feet, but your chest is lifted. The only reason your chest would be on the legs is if those of you who are real flexible, your belly comes down to the legs, your ribs, your chest, and eventually your nose. But otherwise, we're staying nice and long. We're not trying to drop the top of your head towards the knees. Take a few deep breaths. This should really be stretching here, which gets quite compressed and leads to back pain. So this lower spine area here. And then come on back up to sit. All right, come over onto hands and knees. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips for a few cow cats, just to warm up that spine. Inhaling through cow, exhaling through cat. That same nice long breath in through the nose, always starting with the base of the spine, always ending at the top of the head. So we start with the base of the spine, move all the way through. Gaze comes forward last in our cow. And then the belly button pulls in as the pelvis tucks under. The head drops towards the belly button last as we arch up into cat. Working at your own pace as always. Last cat, press yourself up whenever you get there, arching up into your cat, head dropping towards your belly button, spreading the shoulder blades apart. And then bring yourself into neutral. We're going to do a little bit of a series down here before we go into our Sun Salutations. So hands under those shoulders, elbows rotating in, belly button pulled in, spine long. So in cow-cat, we're moving our spine, right? In this series, I want you to work to keep the spine still because we're going to be working our core more. So let's extend the right leg behind us, just at hip height. If you lift your leg higher, you end up with an arch in your spine. We don't want that. Keep it at hip height. Good. And then see if you can extend your left arm. So you've got left arm, right leg. Everything's reaching away. So you're really pressing through the heel, reaching through the hand without coming out of your shoulder. Keep the shoulder in its socket. Belly pulled in, gazing at the floor, right where you're in between where your hands were. And now, without moving your spine, bring your elbow towards your knee, knee towards your elbow. So they probably won't touch because then you would have to arch up. And extend back out. Exhale to crunch them in. Inhale to extend back out. So you're really having to engage your core to keep yourself stable. I should be able to put a champagne glass on your back and you wouldn't spill a drop because that would be a waste of champagne, right? So keep that back stable. Let's do one more. Extend out, hold it, and then we're going to lift and lower, or lower and lift. Tap down, lift back to where you started. Tap down and lift. Slow and controlled, not a kick, it's a lift. So you're really squeezing your gluteal muscles as you lift up. We'll do 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Bring the hand down, leave the leg extended for a scorpion push-up. So elbows hug the spine as we seesaw down to the mat, touch the nose to the mat, and press back up. Let's do 4 more. Exhale to press up. Inhale to lower down. Exhale, press up. Starting to work those triceps. They'll get plenty of work today. Last one. And lower that knee down. Push up into cat to release the spine if there's any tension there. Taking a breath. And then coming back to neutral, extending the spine long so your nose is pointing down like someone's drawing you from the crown of your head forward and from your tailbone back. Same thing other side. Extend that left leg, pushing the heel away, belly button in strong. Extend the right arm, both of them are reaching away. Try to straighten, increasing flexibility in the hamstring. Inhale, as you exhale, draw everything in while staying nice and stable. Inhale, extend. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, extend. We'll be doing something very similar to this when we're standing. It's easier down here. 5 more. Three more. On your last one, extend and hold it. Find your stability, and then tap down, lift up. Tap down and lift. Nice and controlled. Using the core. You are using your back muscles here, the glutes a bit, to get that nice lift. 5 more here. Last one, lift up, hand comes down, teeter-tottering down towards the mat. Nose towards the mat, kiss the mat, press back up. Tilt down and up. So the whole body moves as a unit. Legs aren't bending or kicking. It was supposed to be 5, not sure if I did 5 or 6. And put that knee down, pushing up. Into your cat again, curl the toes under, push up and back, downward facing dog. Jogging through, bending one knee, bending the other knee, stretching, getting those hamstrings loosened up. Pressing both heels towards the mat. Okay, so for those of you who are new to my class, I harp on a lot about protecting your joints and your shoulders. So for all of you, as a reminder, what I never want to see, because I don't want you to hurt your shoulders, is that notion that you should be pressing your chest towards your legs. that puts loads of pressure on your shoulder joint. So instead, just let your torso kind of relax. Press into your palms. If you hyperextend your elbows, allow your elbows to be ever so slightly bent so that they're not locked. And then think about rolling your shoulders away from your ears, opening up the back. That should really make you feel your back muscles engage. Now, if you try to push your chest towards your legs, you actually can't do it. You lose that gumbiness in the shoulders, which is an overextension of your shoulder joint, and it's not great on your ligaments and tendons. To get that lovely V shape, think about putting your sit bone up towards the sky. Now you're working really hard and you're protecting your rotator cuff, which once you injure is real hard to get back. And chronic, years of doing down dog improperly can lead to chronic problems there. It's not good. We don't want to hurt ourselves in yoga. Okay, walking the feet towards the hands, let yourself hang over. Head releases. Weight of your body, weight of your head bring you over. Let that spine go shaking and bouncing or twisting, whatever feels good, but gentle. Let the knees be soft, bend in the knees, let the hips drop. So you get a nice deep bend and just roll up really slowly. We've been upside down for a moment, so you don't want to come up too quickly. Slowly, 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 restacking, restacking, restacking. All the way up to the top. Good. Bring your hands to your shoulders. Roll the shoulders forwards. And roll the shoulders backwards. Inhale, extend the arms up. Go ahead and release down to one side. Let the arm drop down. Reach the opposite arm over. Again, protecting the shoulder so you're not stretching out of the shoulder. Keep that shoulder joint in its socket. Turning, looking towards the ceiling. What we're trying to do is bend sideways, bending the spine. Those of us down here in the tropics, I like to think of it as those tall palm trees that just lean gently to the side. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale down to the other side. Speaking of Kristen, she's not here, and she's usually the one who is here. So that's funny. Releasing into the side bend on this side, breathing into the ribs. And back up to center. Okay, if you need a sip of water to prepare, go ahead and grab that now. Otherwise, come up to the top of your mat. So I usually teach and say have your feet hip distance apart. The classic yoga stance is toes together. That's just a little bit less stable, but you don't want your feet super, super wide. So anywhere from hips distance on closer together is absolutely fine. No locking of our knees, so a little teeny bit of a soft bend in the knees. Contracting the thighs and the glutes is going to help keep you lifted through your core. Notice your pelvic positioning. It's real common for us to tilt our pelvis forward and stick our bottom out. So think about pulling the pelvis into neutral, belly button in towards the spine, ribs drawing in towards one another, shoulders down and back, and relax up here. Especially if you sit at a computer all day, you'll tend to stick your chin out here. So pull that chin so that now we're in a neutral alignment. If you want, turning the palms out in your classic Tadasana. Reconnect for a moment with that breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Don't worry if you're not exactly on pace with me at any point, if you're moving slightly behind. Try not to get too far ahead, just because I'm going to change things up, but it doesn't matter. Try to work to your own breath, your own pace as much as you can. We'll be doing a lot of moves that repeat 6 times, just so you know. 6 being an important yoga number, so why not? Bringing the hands to heart center, thumbs to the solar plexus. And we begin. Inhale to extend up. Exhale, releasing, hinging forward, long spine, release down. Inhale, slide the hands halfway up the shins, finding Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, release down. Bend the knees, hands to the mat. Step the right foot back, coming to your runner's lunge. Knee over ankle. This is one opportunity for blocks. If you're really bending and hunching to find the floor, extend your spine, putting your hands up on blocks. at any level or on the floor. Bend that back knee, dip it to the mat, and extend it back. So right knee just bends and pushes back. 3, stretching the hamstring. Last one, step back the left foot. Go ahead and drop down, modified plank on our first one. Lowering down all the way, exaggerated. Chest comes to the floor, hips come to the floor, chin comes to the floor. Press into the hands, lift up into cobra, and release back down. We're just going to do 3 of these. Inhale, elbows hug the rib cage, shoulders down, elbows back. You can do a teeny tiny baby cobra or a bigger cobra, your option. That's 3. Now we're going to come to our down dog. Curl the toes under, push up and back, downward facing dog. Separating your feet max distance apart. Take your left hand, reach it back towards the right foot, ankle, or calf. If you just reach it to the mat, that's fine too. Turn and look under the right armpit, looking towards the ceiling. Down dog twist, and then place that hand back, walk the feet back to center into our down dog. We're going to lift the right leg up and then lower it back down. 6 of those. Kick the leg up. So I say kick, but I don't want it to be an aggressive kick because I don't want you to hurt yourself. It's just a lift up, stretching the hamstring, and lowering back down. And 2. Last one, extend it up. Now Monica's favorite signature move. Knee is going to come into the chest, hinge out over the hands, and then kick back up. Hinging forward, hover over the hands, and extend. You can exhale as you come forward, inhale as you kick up, or you can do the opposite. Whatever works for you. On your last one, hover out over those hands, still in space, and then you're going to drop that knee towards the mat, don't let it touch, and press back up like you're going to burn yourself if you don't lift out of the way. Lower down and lift up. Lower down and lift. 3 more. Drop and lift, and 2 and up. Last one, kick that leg back up, 3-legged downward facing dog. Swing it forward, plant it down, lunge on this side. So right knee over right ankle, grabbing the blocks if you need, pushing back through that left heel, and then bend the knee, press back up. Bend the left knee and extend. We do lots of dynamic stretching in this series. Last one, step the left foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, lift up. Exhale, release. Inhale, extend all the way up. And go right into the next series. Exhale, extend down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. This time, left foot steps back, right foot stays forward, coming to our lunge twist. So left hand stays in the mat, twisting to the right, extending the right arm, looking at that hand, and then 3 big circles one direction. After 3, stop at the top, and 3 big circles the opposite direction, for a total of 6. After that, place that hand down, step the right foot back. Once again, drop the knees, modified plank. Lower all the way down, chest, chin, and hips. Inhale up for 1 cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale up, 2nd cobra. Squeeze the glutes to protect the back. Last time, lifting up and lower, curl the toes under, up and back, downward facing dog on this side. Separating the feet, mat's distance. Reach the right hand back to the mat, to the toe, to the foot, to the ankle, or to the calf. Just don't grab the knee. Turning and looking past your left armpit in a down dog twist on this side. And placing the hand back down, walking the feet back to center. Left leg lifts up and sets back down. Lift up and down. Kick up for 3, for 2. Last one. This time lift up, hinge forward, and hover. Extend back up, hinge forward and hover, and kick. Again, your option, which breath pattern. It doesn't matter, but inhale for one movement, exhale for the other. And then on your 6th one, hover and lower down. Press all the way up, as high up as you can go. Arch that back. It's like a different version of cat. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Kick that leg up, swing it forward, plant it down, runner's lunge. Right hand stays on the mat, turning to the left, extending the left arm, looking up to it. And then big circles, 3 times one direction. And 3 times the other direction. Bring that hand down to the mat, step the right foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, flat back lift. Exhale, release, Uttanasana. Inhale, extend all the way up. And Samasthiti, hands to heart center. Back to 1. Second round, inhale, extend up. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, flat back lift. Exhale, release. Hands to the mat. Right foot steps back. That knee drops down. Rising up to our crescent lunge. Hands behind the knee. We're going to hinge forward and back up. These next 2 things can be a little bit hard on the knee if you're on a hard surface or if you've got an injury to the top of your knee. So just modify as needed. Be gentle with yourself. If this movement does not work for you, just stay in your crescent lunge. After your 6th one, go ahead and hinge back. I'm going to grab my blocks to show you how this looks with the blocks and our half splits. So the front foot flexes, hands to the block, and you press back towards your hips. And then if you want, you can bend down towards your knees. And for a lot of you, the blocks will be really helpful there. And then from here, we're going to rock forward, foot to the mat, and rock back. So you release out of the stretch and back into it. And again, if this bothers the opposite knee, just stop. Building our hamstring flexibility. On the last one, hold the stretch for a moment. Rising back up, bringing the hands to square off the foot, curl the back toes under, press up to plank. So this time it's your option if you want to stay in your full plank or modified plank. You're going to lower down, hover in your chaturanga, and then your option to go all the way down to the mat and up to cobra, or my more advanced, flipping the toes, pressing up to our up dog, squeeze the glutes. Curl the toes under, push up and back, downward facing dog. Extend the right leg up, bend the right knee, drop the right foot to the opposite side, lifting through the right knee. You're stacking right hip over left. Extend the right leg and bend it back. Extend and bend. Pointing the toe to kick out, pull it back in for 3, for 2. Last one. Extend, coming forward, we're going to come across the body. So you're going to bring the right knee to the left elbow and kick back up. Right knee, left elbow, and extend. I'm exhaling as I come forward, inhaling up. And 2. Last one, bring that right knee to the left knee and hover, and then lower the knee to the ankle, to the wrist, back to the elbow, to the wrist, to the elbow. Zipper down, zipper up. 3, 2, 1, lift up. We're going to transition to fallen triangle. So kick that right leg out, pivot onto your right hand, left foot, left arm reaches up, looking up at the sky. Inhale, exhale. Bringing that hand down, we're going to come to a relatively fast pigeon. So bring the right foot across, release into the mat, let the left leg extend behind. I don't mean fast, like we're gonna fast, quickly move through it. We're just not gonna hold it for a real long time. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a break. So really extend that left leg back. If this does not work for you, you can just come to child's pose, or you can roll over onto your back and do figure 4 if you would prefer. Take a deep breath. I'm staying lifted, but if you want, you can walk forward and release down onto the mat. But we're just going to stay here for a couple of breaths. Don't want to get you too relaxed. Just a momentary breather. One more breath, releasing that hip. And then curl the left toes under, kick that right foot all the way up and back, three-legged downward facing dog. Swing it forward, plant it down, release the back knee to the mat. Hands behind the right knee for our crescent lunge. So we're gonna hinge forward and back up. Hinge forward and lift. 3 and 2. Last 1. Option to bring the hands to the blocks or to the floor as we hinge back into our half splits and rock forward. Hinge back and forward. And 2. The last 1, holding for a moment. Rocking forward, stepping the left foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale all the way up, right onto the other side. Exhale, releasing down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release. This time, left foot steps back. Release that knee to the mat. Rising up in our crescent lunge with arms extended. So we're driving forward. This knee starts over the ankle, but then it may go out a little bit past the toes. Opening up through this left hip flexor, lifting through the chest. Lift, lift, lift. Arms extend if you want. And then some shoulder arm engagement. We're going to pull down into goalpost arms or cactus arms, lift back up. Like you're pulling a lap bar down with some resistance. 3 more. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Get a little bit of a back engagement there. Last 1, bring the hands behind the back, clasp them together, opening up towards the sky. Bring the hands to the mat, step the right foot back, plank position. Again, option to come down to knees. Everyone lower down, hover in chaturanga, or come all the way onto the mat into your cobra. Those of you in chaturanga, flip your feet, press up, upward facing dog. Curl the toes under, downward facing dog. Left leg extends up, bend that knee, dropping it to the left side. Oh, I have to move away from the wall. I was kicking the wall. Stacking left hip on top of right. Extend the left leg and bend it back. Extend and bend. Two more times. Last one. Extend back to center, across the body. Left knee, right elbow, hover. And kick back up. Extend. Crunch it in and extend. Knee to elbow and hover, and then zipper down, zipper up. Lower and lift. Lower and lift. For 3. For 2, for 1, fallen triangle, left foot kicks out, pivot over onto our right foot, left arm, right arm extends, pushing up through the hip, taking a breath, lowering that hand, bringing the left foot across to our pigeon, extending the right leg back, chest is lifted and tall, legs reaching back, shoulders down and back, feeling a stretch in the left hip this time. Modifying as you need. Again, you could roll into your back. You could just skip it all together or do something else that you like to do here if you don't like pigeon. Curling the toes under, push up and back, three-legged downward facing dog. Extend that leg forward, planting it down, release the back knee into the mat, lifting up, and pull that lat bar down, and back up. So we're working the back muscles, stretching the hip flexors. 3, 2, and 1. Hands behind the back, clasping together, opening towards the ceiling. And hands to the mat. Step the right foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, flat back lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, Samastiti. Okay, third and final round. Coming into chair pose. So, sitting down and back, pushing the knees back, pushing the hips back. Don't fall over. And then stay lifted through the chest. So belly is in. You can bring your hands to heart center if you'd like. You can extend your arms if that is accessible. So we're going to add movement, but it's really important to feel this in your body. What we don't want to see is knees way out over here over our toes. So really think about pushing your butt back, pushing your knees back, and then see if you can lift up. Okay, breath of fire option if you'd like here to add a little bit of pranayama. It's an exhale through the mouth as we stand up, pull it out. We're going to do 6 as always. We'll count that as 1. Squeeze the glutes at the top. And 3. And 2. Last 1, coming into your chair pose. Forward fold. Inhale, flat back lift. Exhale, release. Option here is to step back, right followed by left, or hop back to plank. Next option is push-ups. I like to separate my hands, turn them slightly in. By all means, drop down to your knees here, or do it from toes. We'll do 6. So it's a lower down, exhale up. 5, 4, 3, 2, last 1. If you moved your hands, bring them back to the regular position. Lower down, chaturanga to cobra on the mat, or up to up dog. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Check out what you're doing with your shoulders. Make sure you're rolling the shoulders away from the ears, pressing into the hands. Can you shake your head? Nod your head yes. Can you shake your head no? Let's do 2 lion's breaths here. So it's an inhale through the nose. Open your mouth, let it go, stick out your tongue. Second one. Let's do 1 more. Those were a little fast. If you're going slower than me, you're behind me, that's okay. All right, right leg extends up, bend the knee, drop it to the left side. Option to stay right here, or option to flip the dog. Right knee is bent, left leg is straight, right arm is lifted. We're going to lower the butt down to the mat and press back up for 5, 4, 3, 2, the last 1, lift up, flipping back over, extend that right leg up, swing the right leg forward, plant it down, rising up to a high lunge. So, knee over ankle, left foot pressing back through the heel, left leg extended. Think about tucking the left glute kind of under you, lift up through here. We're going to be bending down. I want you to think about bending the back knee and rising up so that you're not going forward, okay? It's just straight down, straight up. That's often enough. Balance is a struggle here, but if you want to add to it, the arms can come to cactus arms, and we're going to chest pressed in, chest press in, and open back up. So we'll do 6. So it's lower down, exhale up. 5, 4, 3, 2, inhale, exhale, extend the arms back, power lunge, body hinges forward. We're going to come to a warrior 3. So the arms come forward, left leg comes up, extending in your warrior 3. Remember, I promised you a similar move to what we were doing on our knees. So you're going to crunch in. Elbows to knee and extend. Crunch in, exhale. Inhale, extend. 4, 3, 2, last one. Extend and hold it. Place the back foot down at a little bit of an angle. Straighten both legs. Bring the hands behind the back, either fist to fist or in a reverse prayer. For pyramid, we're going to hinge forward. Long spine. Pulling the right hip back. Left hip forward. Nose pointing towards the mat. Rising back up, we're going to step forward into chair. So hands back, left foot steps forward, arms go up, sitting down into our chair. Coming to a twist, hands come to the chest, turning to the left, right elbow to the thigh, sitting low, and if you want, that arm slides down the thigh as you turn and look towards the ceiling, trying to keep the knees from shifting. They love to go forward. In this case, the right knee is going to go forward. Hands at heart center. Try not to have them up here in the shoulder. Really twist the body. Coming back to our chair. Breath of fire for 6. Last one, coming down into chair. And forward fold. Inhale, flat back lift. Exhale, release, hands to the mat, stepping left foot back or hopping back to plank. Option to separate the hands. Option to drop to knees. Option to do half push-ups. See if you can do 6. Lower down, exhale up. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. If you moved your hands out, move them back in. Lowering down all the way to the mat or chaturanga, up to cobra or to up dog. Woo, that up dog was hard. And press back to down dog. 3 breaths of fire, so it'd be 6 altogether. I'm going to try to make these a little bit more normal paced. Okay, inhale. Exhale out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, exhale. Shake your head no. Nod your head yes. Wiggle it out. Find your down dog. And left leg extends up. Left knee bends, dropping to the opposite side. Option to stay here. Or release the foot down. Right leg extends. Left arm lifts. We press down to the mat and lift. Lower down and lift for 4, 3, 2, last one. Lift up, flipping over. That was not a very graceful flip. Swing the left foot forward, rising up into our high lunge. Adjusting yourself. You don't want that foot too far back for these lunges, so you want to be able to pull that bottom under you. Knee over ankle, not too deep of a bend, as deep as you want it. Option to bring the arms here. And we lower down on the inhale, exhale up. Three, 2, last one. Press that leg back, extend the arms back, hinge forward, power lunge. And we're going to step into our warrior 3, pushing that right heel away. Crunch it in, elbows to knee, and extend. 5, extend. If this is hard, do not feel anything bad about that. Movement while balancing is super hard. I fall all the time doing this one. Don't sweat it. Extend and hold. Push that right heel away, extend the arms. And step that foot down, bring the hands back, reverse prayer or fist to fist. Hips are forward, chest is forward. And then you're going to hinge, leaning with your sternum into our pyramid, gazing at the mat in front of you. This is good for the hamstrings, the back, bit of the hips. Again, notice the left hip probably wants to rotate forward. Can you pull the left hip back? Rotate that right hip forward so your hips are square. Imagine my hands twisting your hips there. Good, and then pressing back up, stepping into chair. Twisting to the other side, hands to heart center. Sit nice and low. The lower you are, the easier, the better this twist is. Twist to the opposite side. If you went left, go right with me. Left elbow on the thigh, slide the elbow down as the hips drop. Hands at heart center. Keep that left knee from shifting forward. Can you keep them square? Turning the gaze towards the ceiling. And coming back, forward fold, straighten the knees. Bring the hands under the feet so you're standing on them. Toes at the wrists. Pull your body down. So if your knees are bent, that's fine. Try to straighten them. If your legs are already straight, try to pull your head down towards the mat. Releasing that, bend the knees and restack, rolling up, 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 up. Extend the arms up. Come up onto tiptoes, grow tall. Shoulders in their back pockets. From here, sit down into your chair, up on the balls of your feet. Sitting down, belly in, chest lifts. How low can you go? Notice it totally changes on your knees. It's so much easier on your toes. It's hard, but easier on your knees. Release the heels, forward fold again. Bending knees, planting the hands. If you didn't try it before, try to hop back now with us to plank. 1 minute plank. So, option is to stay here. We didn't do any side planks today, but I think we'll leave it at that. Or drop to knees. Or come to forearms if you want to come to forearms. In fact, we'll all come to forearms after 30 seconds, okay? We'll do 30 seconds here. We'll do 30 seconds on our forearms. All right, if you're up and you want to come down, come to forearms, 30 more seconds. Belly button in, don't let those hips drop. Looking right in between the arms of the hands, nod at your toes. Ten more seconds. The second 30 felt a lot longer than the first 30. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and drop to knees. Stretch back on your heels in child's pose. Release down. If this is not making your shoulders happy, you can bring your arms down by your sides, palms up. Your option. Go ahead and roll up. So I'm going to give you a couple options. If you need a block for this, you can definitely use the block. But I'm going to give you a little stretch of your toes while we do some other things. So we're going to stay on our knees, and you're going to bend your toes under you, coming to the balls of your feet. Now, if this does not work for your knees, does not work for your feet, you can come to cross-legged. You could sit on a block instead. So I'm going to sit here, and we're going to do a couple things from right here. In fact, I think I will turn and face you now that we know what our feet are doing. It'll be easier if you see me from here. Okay. Option, you might need the block because you're higher now on those feet. So bring a block to your side. Lifting up. We're going to laterally bend from here. So the hand's going to come down to the block or to the floor, and you're going to lift up. If I just spider my hands, that actually works pretty well for me. So you notice that this arm is soft. If you lock this arm, it will keep you from bending, which we don't want. So soften that base arm. Bend over. And pressing back up. Inhale up. Other side. Arm comes down. Stretch up and over, and then let that left arm, or whichever arm you're on, be soft. Hopefully you're feeling a stretch, but not a painful one in your feet. It's really good for your feet, especially I may be a yogini and love to be barefoot, but I also love my high heels. If you run, you stand a lot, sometimes our feet need some love and attention, so this is good for them. And press back up. But if it's causing you pain, come out. If it's like, ooh, this feels like a stretch, a little uncomfortable, see if you can stick with it. If it's painful, come out of it. Same thing goes for your knees. All right, we're gonna twist. So inhale up. We're gonna twist. So the hand, again, you might find it helpful to put a hand on block, but the front hand is on the thigh, never the knee. Opening the back shoulder. You could also put your hand on your hip, on your foot, or if you reach the floor, fine, but careful not to lean back into it. I have very long arms and I'm not reaching the floor here. I'm using a block. Inhale into your twist. And come back to center, other side, inhale to lift. Exhale to twist, hand on the thigh, hand on the block, on the hip, on the foot, on a pillow. Don't crush your puppy under your hand, but it's good to do it on something that's alive actually, because you don't want to be pushing on it. You want to have light, gentle press. I don't want to hear any yelping children or dogs in the background. Okay, come back to center, release those feet. Ooh, how are those toes feeling? All right, I'm going to give you, because we haven't done this in a while and we're winding up our practices, I'm going to give you a headstand option. So, as always, feel free to practice headstands against the wall if they're new to you. I happen to love the one where we do hands around the head and we're on forearms. You can go ahead and go into that. Those of you who know you don't want to do headstands, go ahead and come onto your backs. You can do a bridge, which we may all do in a moment, or you can come to shoulder stand or halasana. Those of you working on headstands, I'm going to give you an option to work on tripod first. So go ahead and pick your inversion, but if you just want to have some instruction. So in tripod, when we do our handstand, or a headstand rather from hands rather than forearms, you want to get the crown of your head, the top center part of your head on the mat. You can just start to lift up and start to feel what that feels like. Do not kick into a headstand. If you're working on practicing, you want to stay low, you can come here. Your legs come to your triceps and work here. If you roll into this, you tuck your chin to your chest and you roll over. I'm not saying it will feel good, but you won't hurt yourself. As opposed to crashing over from high can be painful. So, once you're here, you can stay here. You can come down and move against a wall. Or if you want, you slowly, with control, extend the legs. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the belly button, squeeze the thighs together. If your hands are here, you're pressing into them. If you've got your hands around your head, you're on your forearms, you're pressing into your forearms, trying to lift out of your shoulders. I like to focus on a point that I can see. And you breathe. Staying up as long as you want. Those of you in headstand where you're ready to come down, go ahead and find a child's pose. Let the head and neck release. Give them a little love. You want to massage the neck. It shouldn't hurt your neck. If you're on the crown of your head, you should be safer. If you're doing it in your forehead or the back of your head, that's when you'll tend to have more neck pain. I have plenty of neck issues and I can do headstands, but you just have to do them carefully and correctly. Okay, if you're still up in anything, go ahead and come down. Everybody come on down to your backs. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little rock, a little hug. Bring your feet to the floor, press your hands to the mat. We're all going to tilt up to one bridge. Bring the hands under the body, clasping them together. Press the hips up. So keep the knees from falling apart. So a little bit of engagement to lift up. Chin to chest. Release the hands and then bring yourself down slowly, 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 one vertebra at a time. Good. Bring the knees back in, finding happy baby. Grabbing feet or ankles, giving yourself a little rock from side to side. And then extending your legs long. Releasing your arms beside the body, but not touching the body, palms up. Separating your legs about mat's distance, so you're like a really narrow star. Chin slightly towards chest, just to release the neck. Take a deep inhale. And sigh it out. One more. And now just relax and release in your Savasana. Allow yourself to breathe in, relaxation. Allow yourself to exhale, stress and tension. Focusing on the breath, just releasing, letting go of any thoughts. Anything that comes into your mind, acknowledge it and let it go. If you'd like to stay longer in your relaxation, feel free to. That was actually much shorter than I anticipated. So if you want more time in Savasana, you can stay there. Otherwise, begin to slowly roll onto one side. And begin to slowly make your way back to where we started. Sitting up with legs crossed, arms relaxed. Once again, taking a moment to observe your body, your breath, your state of mind, your state of being. How does your body feel? Without judgment. It's not about necessarily feeling better or worse. Just noticing. Taking a moment to give thanks to your body for all that it does. Forgiving yourself for anything that you didn't do today, couldn't do, didn't want to do. That's okay. Be kind and gentle to yourself. Take an inhale, extend the arms up overhead. Press the hands together. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center. And again, inhale, swoop up. Exhale to heart center one last time. Inhale, swoop up. Exhale to heart center. The light in me acknowledges and honors the light in you. Om Shanti Om. Namaste.